Topic 1. Geopolitical tensions between China and the U.S. are escalating, with China criticizing U.S. policies on computer chip regulations and student visas. China and the United States are experiencing heightened geopolitical tensions. China has criticized the U.S. for its AI chip export controls, the halt on chip design software sales, and plans to cancel student visas for Chinese nationals. The Chinese Ministry of Commerce argues that these actions seriously violate agreements reached during recent trade discussions in Geneva. Although the U.S. and China recently agreed to significantly reduce tariffs, the trade war initiated by President Trump has failed to resolve fundamental differences, leading to new economic and trade frictions. The U.S.'s plan to cancel student visas for Chinese citizens is expected to intensify the technological competition between the two nations. China has warned of a strong response to these measures, criticizing them for worsening the uncertainty and instability in economic and trade relations. President Trump has claimed that China has violated agreements and stated that he will no longer make concessions in trade negotiations with China. Topic 2. International trade tensions, as the U.S. maintains tariffs amidst legal challenges, affecting major companies like Apple and Mattel. Amid rising international trade tensions, the U.S. is maintaining tariffs despite legal challenges. The Trump administration has used tariffs as a key tool in its trade war with China, significantly impacting the global market. Recently, a U.S. court placed a hold on Trump's authority to impose tariffs, but an appeals court temporarily reinstated them. President Trump has threatened major American companies like Apple and Mattel with tariffs. In Apple's case, he warned of a 25% tariff if the company does not move iPhone production back to the U.S. Although he threatened a 100% tariff on Mattel in response to the CEO's comments, this was not actually implemented. These threats appear to be a strategy to pressure companies into increasing domestic investments or avoiding mentioning tariffs as a reason for price hikes. Such tariff policies could lead to rising consumer prices in the U.S., particularly affecting the construction and manufacturing sectors. The Trump administration aims to double tariffs on steel and aluminum to protect the U.S. steel industry, which could exacerbate trade conflicts with the European Union. Experts warn that these tariffs could significantly impact global trade. Topic 3. The reopening of the Damascus Stock Exchange after a 6-month hiatus marks a notable event in the economic landscape. The Damascus Stock Exchange has reopened after a 6-month hiatus, marking a significant turning point for Syria's economic recovery. This move is part of efforts by Syria's new leaders to stabilize and rebuild the economy following the ousting of former President Bashar al-Assad. According to Syria's finance minister, Mohammed Isar Barnia, the stock exchange will now operate as a private entity and will focus on becoming a hub for economic development, particularly in the digital sector. Additionally, with the easing of international sanctions on Syria, the country plans to sign $7 billion worth of power development contracts with companies from Qatar, Turkey, and the U.S. to rebuild its power grid. This initiative is seen as a crucial step towards economic recovery and expanding investment opportunities in Syria. Topic 4. UN, Iran, and Egypt convened in Cairo to address concerns surrounding Iran's nuclear program. Leaders from Iran, Egypt, and the UN met in Cairo to discuss concerns regarding Iran's nuclear program. According to a report from the UN's International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, Iran has been increasing its stockpile of uranium enriched to near weapons-grade levels. IAEA Director General Rafael Mariano Grossi stated that Iran's uranium enrichment continues to raise ongoing concerns for the IAEA board. Iran claims that the report is politically motivated and criticizes Grossi for